That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to a Notre Dame 2024 early signing day edition of the Always Irish Show. I got to tell you, things are changing around Notre Dame football. Things are changing around Notre Dame football. Some of it isn't obvious to the blind eye in the public. Things are changing. And I think you're going to like it. So thank you for being here. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way. You alerted every time a new episode drops. I know you don't want to miss it. Twitter. Search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it if you don't want to look at my face. I don't blame you. Call-in lines. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you heard and seen, except for those are going to have to wait a while. I'm not bringing a mixer to Florida and hooking it up to the port by the pool. So we'll go live, but I couldn't bring the mixer and all the other stuff I need to do to call in. So that's going to have to wait. Instagram, Facebook, Always Irish Shake. USA Today, Fighting Irish War. Read all about it. Patreon.com/Always Irish. Mike Goolsby and myself breaking it all down. When I say break it down, I mean us pulling up the film and going over all these recruits and who Mike likes, who's a sleeper, what a guy needs. It looks like he needs to work at or good at, all that. Thank you to everybody that's joined. All right. So as you are seeing this, based on when I'm going to put it out and schedule it to release, I'm in transit to Florida. So if you need something to laugh about today, just picture me with the 3-year-old in a line at Midway on Christmas week trying to fly somewhere. So that ought to make you laugh. If you need a laugh, just imagine my patience level in that dynamic today. So unless we're extremely pleasantly surprised, I don't hear any rumors of Notre Dame getting anybody that's not already on the list, flipping somebody to I ain't hearing any of that. I wish I was. So for now, I got to run on the theory that we're getting all the guys that are on the list. And if we lost anybody while I'm flying, when I turn on my phone again in Florida, I'll find out, and then I'll do a show being mad about that. But for now, I'm going to assume we got the guys we were supposed to get. So for the early signing day period, where does that put you? I don't know, 10 to 15 overall class, depending on what service you use. I always have this question, though. Wherever Notre Dame lands now, how much are you going to drop on actual signing day with half flippers and all the games that are played? And then we're usually not involved, and then you drop on later after the new year, and then I'm mad. Because you get your mind around, okay, number 10 class, whatever, blah, blah, and then you drop and you're not involved really to get anybody to rise. And then you drop. So that's always a problem. This early signing day just doesn't feel like it just doesn't feel like a signing day because it's not over. So it's just weird. And the holidays, it's just all a little weird. So that's always in my mind. Here's the deal, though. This staff is really good at evaluating. Way better than any Brian Kelly staff at evaluating these guys. I don't know if there's more effort put into it, more resources put into it, if they're just better at it. I don't know, but this staff is demonstrably better than a Kelly staff at evaluating guys to come to Notre Dame. They just are. They just are. There's a lot of underrated dudes in this class that have a lot of athleticism. Notre Dame's roster's changing fast and for the better. It just is. I don't care what number this class ends up sitting at. The roster's changing fast for the better, period. That's not in doubt to me. That's not in doubt to me. Longer, faster, more athletic, more versatile guys, deeper. Guys with higher floors at the bottom and a higher ceilings at the top. I'm telling you, in every single metric, This recruiting operation's night and day from before. And if a segment of this fan base can hold off running Marcus Freeman off somewhere else, you're going to see it start to show a lot more. This roster's just about to get really damn athletic and fun and long on both sides of the ball. So if a segment of the fan base can try and find it in them to not run Freeman off yet and let this roster flip another year or two, I really think you're going to like what you're going to see. It's going to look different than what you're used to. The evaluations are better. The work ethic is better. The grinding is better. The messaging around pitching Notre Dame to these guys is better. The relationships with the high school coaching network is better. The blue chip ratio's way up. In some cases, depending on classes from the previous regime, 30 points or more up. 5 top 100 guys, a 6, just a couple spots out of it, plus a bunch of sleepers. Well-balanced, hit your needs, guys on both sides of the ball that could play early, guys that could emerge as sleepers down the road on both sides of the ball. Even some of the lower ranked guys in this class are longer, athletic guys that you could use for something. There's more versatility. I just hope everybody could see how different Freeman's approach and philosophy with recruiting is than before. But the frustration is you haven't seen it all play out and come together yet. And that puts me in a weird spot because I'm the last guy. Here's the issue. I'm the last guy doing what I've done all these years to sit here and tell Notre Dame fans to have patience. I am the last guy that can preach patience to Notre Dame fans since I am at the older part of the first generation that can't remember Notre Dame being elite and having national respect. I am at the older age bracket of the first group of people that were too alive but too young when we were really good, and we haven't been anything since I can remember my life. Not one season that I can remember has ended with Irish pride. Not one. Not one. Even if you win and name any bowl win you want, there's no major ones. Name any other bowl you want and go, how can you not be happy after we won the bowl? And I'll say, I'm mad that you're in that bowl because it wasn't one that mattered, which means the season failed. That's my answer to that. So I'm the last dude that's going to tell people to have patience as a Notre Dame fan when I'm the first. I have the longest stretch of people living that can't remember us being good. That's me, Lucky John. So I'm the last guy that can tell anybody they have to be patient here. You know who should be excited? You know who should be excited? People younger than me. People older than me, my dad's generation, my dead grandpa's generation, they're used to Notre Dame being the best in the country and having Heismans and winning championships and being able to remember what that feels like. People younger than me, if you're in your mid-20s or something, all the Notre Dame football you knew was Kelly. God bless you. You're about to see what a Notre Dame roster looks like with actual athletes on it. You know I'm being a little hyperbolous. It's not like we didn't have any athletes, but enough to move the needle. Enough to where you don't lose every single of the biggest games you're in by 25 points. So if you could find it in you to resist the urge, some people have to already run Freeman off. If you didn't want Freeman to get the job or you're out on him or whatever, if you're in that group, if you could just, for whatever reason, you're there, look at some of this talent. You cannot tell me Notre Dame's not starting to look different as a roster when they run out there. And it's just going to get better. And I just hate being the one to say patience, but this roster is just now starting to really flip over. And I get it, man. Just spare your comments of, we only had 10 guys out there and we're losing too many games and all that. I understand that everything I'm saying isn't going to matter to anybody, including me, unless it results in a bunch of wins on the field at a different level than Kelly got it and a different level than Marcus has it. We all know that. We all know that. So, not telling you can't have high expectations in the moment. I'm just telling you, we're just getting into this roster really getting cranked over into more of Freeman's vision and all of his guys. You're going to like it. I'm telling you, you are. And the concept now that we might get some offensive coordinator who could actually maximize the guys we have and their talents and highlight them better, and maybe even put up a plan to look like a real offense against a good team. Man, that's exciting to think about. And that defense, just keep cooking. Do what you're doing. So, it's so overplayed to sit there and go, this Notre Dame class is underrated. Every year there's, the Notre Dame media people on a blog are doing what I do. You want people to feel good about it. And it's like, this is an underrated class and all of this. It might actually be true this time though. Like, let's look at some of this. CJ Carr. A lot of people have been cooling on him. Even a lot of Notre Dame people have been cooling on him. He's an early enrollee. Looks good in practice already, I'm told. Cam Williams, instant difference maker right away. Probably the best wide receiver Notre Dame's recruited since who? Floyd? Are we going all the way back to Floyd? That actually worked out. He difference maker day one, NFL guy, type of guy Notre Dame doesn't usually get. Use him any way you can. KVA, gonna play instantly, advanced instincts, type of guy that usually you would expect stay out west. He's gonna play right away. Here's where we get into the evaluations. Bryce Young. Look at him rising up the rankings now and all that. Notre Dame was evaluating and in on him when he did not have this profile. That needs to be acknowledged. Notre Dame was in on him really, really early before he started really blowing up, and not just for a Notre Dame connection. Same thing happened with Keon. Notre Dame was in on him before everybody was after him. That's why it hurt so much to lose him when you're like, oh, what about us? Because we loved you before it was cool to do. Great evaluation job, and Bryce Young has an unbelievably high ceiling. Goolsby, knock you to the Kirby. Love it. Kedron Young, we've been breaking down the film. GOOLSBY absolutely loves him and thinks he's going to be absolutely amazing. Tay Johnson, weird situation with the health this year and all that. But here's what I always hear about him. Long and athletic. I can use guys like that. Thomas, maybe more of a developmental guy, but still with a big skill set. Micah Gilbert. William. Heard good things about Gilbert. Aeneas Williams. Again, you love what you're going to see out of that guy. Like, I got people debating whether him or Young are better or whatever. They're both great football players we're adding. Sevillano has a really high ceiling. Jack Larson. Do I even need to mention Notre Dame tight ends? Like Rizek has a body where you're like, I don't know what we're going to do, but he's long and he's big. I could use that. Hobbs, I've seen people rave over his senior film. Anthony Knapp is probably underrated. And I'm not going to act like I know how to break down O-line film, but I watch GOOLSBY nail this guy's film up and go, look at this. I love this. He's doing that. And that's one of our lowest rated guys. And it's just, they're trying to get more flexibility, just longer, more athletic, more versatile, guys that could grow and be flexed into different spots. I'm just telling you, Notre Dame's starting to look differently. They're starting to get a different type of dude. They are. You're starting to see the vision and how different it is from before. I just love it. So I'm just telling people, I totally understand the frustrations with this year. I share them with you every day. Obviously, we do this together. Yeah. If you have the ability to just hold off a little longer, this roster is really about to change over, and you're going to see more guys pop on both sides of the ball. You're gonna, see more guys pop. There's good balance. There's good balance on this staff too, or in this class. I mean, as far as like hitting most of your basic needs, finding guys that could get on the field early on both sides of the ball, finding depth guys, but that have traits that you really, really like, finding glue guys that like are just going to be rock solid for you, but maybe don't have a high ceiling. Like, it's a well-rounded class. Like, do you want another 5-star receiver? Well, hell yeah, obviously you do. Do I want another, like a 5-star quarter and safety? Yeah, I do. Like, give me another edge rusher, obviously. If you're not finishing number one in recruiting, you feel like you could have done better. I obviously understand that. And it's so cliche to just be like, I think this class is underrated, but I'm looking at the traits and I'm looking at the bodies, and you could just see a different approach. And then it excites me because you think about that. Then you think about the changes with I'm telling you guys, I don't know if this is just the natural timing of things or not. Things are changing behind the scenes at Notre Dame. I cannot believe I'm going to report this. This is usually not something I ever say. That should make you think I'm serious. They're really starting to help Marcus out. They're really genuinely starting to address many of the things we have been complaining about. Even Kelly complained about the things Freeman needs and wants. They are starting to do a lot of them. Not all of these things are public, but they're happening. You're getting a little more flex in the portal situation. NIL, I have been assured, is not a problem. If there's a guy worth it, they will figure it out. NIL is not a problem, and they have people in place there they trust to navigate that. The facilities, that's supposed to be announced soon that they're going to be able to do that. Like, they are changing some things, and it lines up with what most of us have been asking for. So things are changing behind the scenes. Younger AD, younger president, like all of that. There's a lot of change. And here's I'm telling you, this roster's about to get fun. This roster's about to get fun. In a couple of years, this is not going to look like what a Notre Dame roster the last 20 years has looked like. You could see it changing, but we're not quite fully there yet. But you could see it changing fast. We're just not there yet. This staff is really good at evaluating and recruiting, and they work incredibly, incredibly hard. They are doing everything you could ask as a Notre Dame fan to bring talent in here. I could not say that about any regime that I can remember before this one. Too young for Lou's heyday. Anything after that. These guys are the best at recruiting there's been since. And it's never been harder because of all the bullshit now with NIL and transfer portal and all this stuff. It's never been harder. And in spite of that, these guys are doing a better job than anybody I can remember at Notre Dame of evaluating and landing some of these guys. They recruit different. They have a different vision, a different gear, a different work ethic. And if you could hang tight, you're going to see more of that. You're going to see more of it next year. And the year after that, you're going to see even more of it. The roster's changing and you're going to like it. How much are we going to like it? We got to wait and see. Still all got to come together, and the coaching has to be good, and you need leaders and stars to emerge at the right time. There's a lot of things that have to still fall in line and come together. But I'm telling you, this is being built different, and I'm here for it. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you from Florida. I'll holler at you.